Hello everybody, welcome to Gregsbeerreviews. Let's go see what's in the fridge today. Hey guys, thanks for stopping by Gregsbeerreviews today. I'm hoping this is going to be a big treat. This was sent to me by my brother Rico. This is Wicked Weed Brewing. They're down in Asheville, North Carolina. I have been to the brewery down there. When I go to Asheville, I've been there a couple of times and checked out the brewery down there. Awesome brewery scene going on there. People that live around Asheville know that. I mean, Roanoke is just now, where I live here, is just now getting into the smaller craft independent breweries that are popping up. A lot of them, the head brewers are friends of mine that were in the Brewers Guild, Star City Brewers Guild, and some of those dedicated guys that wanted to get into that profession have done that. And I can name off a bunch of names, and I'm not going to though. But a lot of those guys that were in the guild when I first got into it 8 years ago are now head brewers somewhere. Either they own their own brewery or they're head brewers somewhere within a 50-mile radius of here. So congratulations to all those guys. At one time I thought I may want to do that, but realize how much work and everything that was involved in that, so I'll just stick to what I'm doing and doing the beer reviews and running my little gun store. So with that being said, let's get on with this one. I will tell you guys, I was a big fan of this brewery before they sold out recently. And their beers are not available here in Virginia, so I don't know what the distribution is for Wicked Weed, but they just recently sold out and they have got a ton of negativity. To me, when these guys do that, I understand why they do, because big dollars talk, guys. And if you're not turning over control, if you're selling 10, 20, 30, 40% to AB InBev or whoever's offering you those big dollars, I understand why they do that. Expansion, bigger distribution, more capital to do what you want to do. I understand that. And as long as the breweries retain control over what they're producing, I don't really have a big problem with that. I still don't consider them independent craft brewers any longer because they have sold out. But a lot of them still produce really tasty beers. I don't support the big guys, y'all know that. If AB InBev, Molson, Coors, Miller, any of these guys, Heineken, jumps in and buys a part of the brewery, I'm a little disappointed. I don't consider those independent craft breweries any longer. So I don't support them. I don't buy their beers anymore. I still review them when people like Rico buy them and spend their hard-earned money on them and send them to me. I don't have a problem with that. But I'm really disappointed when these guys do that, but I understand why they do. So it's hard to turn down big dollars, especially when you think you're advancing your brewery and going to get bigger distribution, expansion, and all the rest of the things that come with having with having a thick wallet, having a big bank account. So I understand why they do. I am disappointed though, because big beers love to buy these little small breweries up. So it is what it is. It's the day and age we live in. So this is dark aged bourbon barrel aged Imperial Stout from Wicked Weed. I've heard good and bad things about this beer. So we're gonna, and this is just my opinion. I mean, if I say I don't like it, don't make your own decision. Go buy it, try it. If I say I love it, you may not. So what I love, you may hate. What I may hate, you may love. So don't base it on what I'm saying. I'm just giving you my honest opinion. So let's get on with this. This is a fairly big beer. According to the bottle I have here, it does have a date of 10/17 of 17, so October 17th of 2017 when it was bottled. It is a 12% alcohol by volume, so I don't think they're going to give us the IBUs anywhere on the bottle. It does have a nice description, but it is fairly long. I don't think I'm going to read it off the back unless Untapped has pretty much the same thing, so let's run over there and check and see. They don't have anything, so maybe I ought to read something. Let's do this. Beer Advocate has it, and it's probably the same thing. Yep, it looks like it is. Humanity's path out of the dark age is one without end. This path carries us away from the mystical to the measurable, from the magical to the mathematical, and this is a meticulous tale of progress from madness to method. Yet we still find wonder in the magic and extraordinarily potential in the mystery. Out of this yearning for the always dark age Imperial Stout emerges from the whiskey barrel its dark malt complexity and bold yet balanced sweetness, softened by its mystical evolution in oak. Wonder if I pay somebody to write this shit up for them. Or somebody sits around for days trying to write this stuff up what they're going to print or put on the label. Sometimes it's pretty funny, sometimes it's a lot of garbage, sometimes it's pertinent information. Most of the time it's not. So, with that being said, like I said, Rico did send me this, and he writes basically the same thing. Bourbon Barrel Aged Imperial Stout, 12%. He bought it, and it was around $11 is what he paid for it. Not too awful bad for a 12% Bourbon Barrel Aged beer. He said the date is on the bottom right-hand corner, which I did read to you. And it was bottled on October 17th of 2017. Today is the 14th of January, so do the math. October, November, December, January. It's around 3 months old, not quite, almost, a couple days away. So, with that being said, let's get on with it. Final beer of the evening for me here, guys. If y'all want to check me out on Patreon page or support me there, I do post tomorrow's beers 24 hours ahead if you want to get a head start on what you're going to see on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Google+. Jump over there and check me out. Just hit that show more on each video, and it has all my beer scales and grades and sites I think you should see. It has my Patreon page there. Jump over there if you want to see tomorrow's beer 24 hours ahead of time. Alright, while I'm pouring this, I will tell you the food pairings. It says General Chocolate Dessert Digestive. Glassware, a pint backer, 9 tumbler snifter. I got my favorite tulip glass, and it says here can be settled for a long period of time. So, right down the middle here, guys, didn't get a massive head on this one. About a quarter finger of head on this. It is pitch black. I'm not getting any light at all. It is a dark, dark beer, which is very typical for a 12% barrel-aged Imperial Stout. Looks good. Let's get a nose on it. Rich roasted malt, hints of black molasses, caramel, toffee, a little bit of bourbon in there. Smells very, very nice. Maybe some tobacco or licorice in there. Probably going to be some dark fruit in there once it warms up. It's right out of the fridge. Smells pretty good. Let's dive in. Cheers, everybody. Cheers, Rico. Hints of oak, bourbon, vanilla, coconut. Very nice. A little bit of butterscotch going on in there. Maybe a slight hint of some diacetyl in there, but not off-putting. Not super heavy. Definitely drinkable. A lot of times these big beers like this, especially these stouts and stuff, you'll get some diacetyl, and a lot of times that goes away during the fermentation process. Sometimes it does, sometimes it does not. Sometimes it's overpowering with the butterscotch. Sometimes you just get slight hints of it. I'm getting just some ever so slight hints of it right now, and sometimes it even goes away as it warms up, and you don't get it at the end of the beer. So right now, it's pretty damn tasty. Just a slight hint of some butterscotch in there. Just a little bit of the bourbon in there. It doesn't, to me, it doesn't seem like they left it in there for a long time, where the bourbon is overpowering everything else. Everything seems to come together pretty well on this. And like I said, it's right out of the fridge. As it warms up, that butterscotch notes may or may not go away. Sometimes it does, sometimes it don't. I think it's a very tasty beer, guys, right now. So let me sip on this for a little bit, let her taste it, let it come up to room temperature, and see what we end up with. Alright guys, I'm back. Got just a little left here. Nice slicing is slapped on the glass. A slight hint of booziness on this beer, but it's pretty fresh, pretty hot. That may subside if you cellar her for a little while. The butterscotch notes have dissipated. I'm not getting them now. A lot of times, like I said, it goes away as it comes up to room temperature. A very nice beer. Very pleasant. This is definitely worth picking up if you can get their beers in your area. I don't know what their distribution is at Wicked Weed. Now that they've been bought out, that distribution is probably going to increase, and capacity is probably going to increase. They're probably going to be able to expand, and they got a lot of dollars now to do that with. So very nice. I'm not so much. They do a lot of sour beers at Wicked Weed. I'm not into those. I haven't got my arms around that style of beer yet, but they do quite a few of those style of beers. But this was pretty tasty. I did enjoy this. Very nice. A very tasty final beer of the evening, which it is for me. Final chug. Very tasty. A good can to sell it for a little while. This should keep for quite a while, being a 12% bourbon barrel aged beer. And like I said, the butterscotch is dissipated. I'm not getting it now on the final chug here now that it's warmed up. Very nice. Seems to be a well-blended, well-made beer. So with that being said, I enjoyed this. I do think it's an A beer, guys. It's got the date on the back of the bottle. It's got the ABV on the bottle. The IBUs are not that critical on this style of beer. So as far as I'm concerned, it's an A beer. I'm going to give it an A-, guys. 92 is where I would put this beer. Very tasty. Very nice. Very enjoyable. Over to Beer Advocate, they have it at 4.32. That's also in their A- range. And also, our final check-in coming from Untapped. They only have it at 3.91. That's in their B+ range. I think it's a tad better than that. Even though I'm not a fan of breweries that sell out, I understand what they do, as I told you. But I think it's a little bit better than a B+ beer. I'm a sucker for these barrel, especially bourbon barrel aged versions of Imperial Stouts and Porters. So I think it's a little better than what they're giving it on Untapped. So with that being said, and you know, a lot of these guys, once they find out these breweries have sold out, they not a fan of that, and I'm not either. But I try to be as honest as I can, guys. I try to tell you what it is, even though if I don't buy it anymore because of that, somebody sends it to me, I try to be as honest as I can. So I think it's a little better than a B+. So that's why I've given it the A- at 92. So if you've had this one from Wicked Weed, this is their Dark Age Bourbon Barrel Aged Imperial Stout. Let me know what you think. Till we meet again, let's go see what's in the fridge.